An excellent fighter. It's just plain a good matchup.
Pompey has been on the verge of cracking into a title shot several times. Lost to Santos Cardona, lost to Tyrone Trice. Those losses set him back. And he needs a win here tonight to get himself into what he thinks might be a title situation.
Now, Buck Smith seems to feel that Pompey is going to run from him. Pompey indicated to us, at least, otherwise.
Yeah, and so far, Pompey is not running. He's just he's staying there with Smith, throwing out the jab. They're both exploring what they can do right now.
Incidentally, these are two guys. There's been a lot of hoopla about this fight here in upstate New York. They're two guys that sincerely like each other.
Excellent men. These are two of the finest guys you're ever going to see in the sport. They're amiable, they're easy to deal with, and they will cooperate in any way, shape, or form with anyone. There's the double left hook by Smith. Now, those are wide punches, but they land, and he can get there to the body.
And Pompey knows that. Pompey talked about how strong Buck Smith is.
Now, Smith is less effective when he throws those punches too wide and looping. Kevin Pompey feels he can come up the middle against Buck Smith, and you'll see him try and do it.
Talking about the 129 fights that Buck Smith has had, and the fact is, he fights instead of spars. That's just his philosophy, and for him it works. He doesn't go into a gym, he learns while he's fighting.
And mixed in with those guys that are not so good are the Kevin Johnsons, a good southpaw that I saw him fight in Colorado. And, of course, oh, there's the left hook and the uppercut. That's a big combination for Smith. He can throw the left hook and the uppercut like Tyson used to. Now, obviously not as powerful. He's a smaller fighter, but it works for him.
He even calls it the Tyson. That uppercut is doing a pretty good job on Pompey early.
Now, Pompey nearly landed a big left hook as Smith left his right hand down. But oh, there's a right hand by Smith that hurt him. This is the kind of round one Buck Smith wanted badly. And the question in this fight is, can Pompey hurt Smith? Because we know that Buck Smith is a powerful puncher. Pompey has not been noted as a big puncher.
And Pompey has taken some big shots in this round. It has not appeared to really be hurt. He did appear to have his attention.
Yeah, but he did get through it on the ropes there. See, very important there for Smith to throw the right hand after the hook. Pompey knows Smith has a good left hook, but he doesn't know whether that right can get there. So far it has in this round. He's got Pompey confused right now. See, the movement of Pompey just isn't there. He said he was going to box like he did against Stephon Johnson. Now Smith has him coming to him. He wants that. He wants a brawl on the inside.
And Pompey started to get to Smith up the middle, as he indicated there, for just a moment. So we come to the end of the first round, and the first round was very much as advertised. We'll be back.
Buck Smith with a three-punch combination. The first two don't get there, but look what happens with this right hand. Very important. Kevin Pompey assumes, as do most people, that only the left hook of Buck Smith will hit you. It's up to Smith to throw other punches.
In Kevin Pompey's corner, they said you got a little bit careless there in the first round. Don't do that. Nice and relaxed was the words of advice to Kevin Pompey.
A couple of 27-year-olds who are right at a pivotal point in their career, Barry, and one guy's going to go forward and one guy's going to go back. And the difference may be the jab in this fight. Pompey is noted to have a better jab. Smith needs to make his better for this fight.
Talked about the caliber of competition that Buck Smith has had, and he has had a couple of what he calls no-decision fights, which you don't see too much. It just means that they're in there fighting, but there's not a winner or a loser, against Harold Brazier, who is about as experienced as you can find.
Yeah, Brazier and he fought in the Midwest, and as you said, it's a situation where they don't make a decision. They just box in front of a regular crowd, but nobody's declared the winner.
And no headgear or anything like that. It's like a real fight. 10-ounce gloves, a little bit heavier.
The body work by Smith's going to be important. There's the hook by Pompey. He really wants to get that punch in. That one landed well. And we'll see if it had any impact on Buck Smith. But in the past, when Pompey has gotten into left hook battles with left hook artists like Santos Cardona and Tyrone Trice, he's lost.
And he does have a tendency on occasion to get sucked into fighting the other guy's fight.
the combination punching of Smith is better than I think they expected. He's already landed combinations on the ropes there against Pompey.
Uppercut has been a good weapon for him, too.
All right, free that hand. Free that hand. Let's go. Free that hand, Smith. All right, break that. Break that.
We still haven't seen too much movement from Pompey. There's the jab, which is going to be an important weapon for Pompey in this bout. He better get it on track pretty soon.
Kind of a half uppercut, half hook by Pompey. Did get there.
Of course, the crowd cheers because we are in Troy, New York, and it's their favorite son.
Smith not doing as much in this one.
Now, the first part of the round he was aggressive, but now he isn't throwing too much because he landed a lot early.
We come to the end of the second round. This may be a case more of what Buck Smith didn't do than what Kevin Pompey did. So we are set to go to round 3. And round 2, really a closer round, according to our punch profile people, than we would have expected.
Yeah, it was close in round 2, and it made the totals of the fights closer. Smith has landed 47 of 138. Pompey 35 of 73. So Pompey landing at a better clip, but has thrown less punches. Smith complains about a low blow. Pompey really needs to get the jab working. I think that's a key for him. And one thing Kevin Pompey really needs to do is stay off those ropes. That's where Buck Smith can tee off with shots to the body and the head. Center of the ring is where Pompey wants this bout. One thing that Pompey has done is keep his distance better, but there's an example. See, and Smith's good at keeping a guy in the corner.
There's the uppercut again, although he pushed with that one a little bit more than he had. That overhand right has been a good weapon for him.
And unless Pompey can land a hook in that position, Barry, Buck Smith will do this to him all night. Pompey must land a left hook that will land and hurt Buck Smith. Smith will keep him there for a long time. And even if everything's not landing, he'll get something there. There's the hook from Pompey. That is important.
Buck Smith, of course, has not gone the distances over his career. Never gone more than 8 rounds.
Pompey may have hurt him with that shot.
Certainly turned things around. Good body shot by Pompey. And now it is Buck Smith fighting with his back to the ropes.
Now there's the jab of Smith. He doesn't use it normally. That's how he should use it. That's the first time in his career that Buck Smith has been hurt that badly. We're going to find out what he's made of right now. And it's still around that Smith has done a lot more work in, but Pompey showed he's got power. And maybe that'll change things in this bout. Smith's punches are getting a little wider, but look at the jab when Smith uses it. He is as effective when he uses it. Interesting. Both men underuse their jab, and when they use it, they're effective.
Good right hand by Pompey.
Now, Buck Smith has expended a lot of energy here, and he's a little tight in this bout. And these punches may take more of a toll because of that. Oh, big hook by Smith. Well, now it's the war we thought it would be, isn't it? And it's going to be a war of attrition over the next 3 or 4 rounds. And I tell you, someone's going before the 8th round in this bout.
It's shaping up like a fight that could come down to a conditioning battle.
Yeah.
Had to rush Kelly Stauffer back into the lineup. Team averaging just 5.5 points per game. And knowing Tom Flores as I do, he's got to be just tearing his hair out.
Now, this is a very, very pivotal round because 2 things happened in the last round. Buck Smith was probably really hurt for the first time in his career. Came back, showed a little sign of fatigue, I thought, in that round, as if maybe his technique was starting to unravel. So this will be an important round.
Here are the numbers in the 3rd round, and Pompey not throwing as many punches, but being more effective with his punches.
His accuracy level is pretty good. I think Smith, ironically, has landed 19 jabs to 17 for Pompey in this fight. You'd think Pompey would be working better with the jab. Buck Smith staying outside probably more than he wants to. I think they want him on the inside more against Pompey.
Well, in fact, that's what his corner was saying to him. Get back inside like he did in the first round.
The lead right now getting there for Kevin Pompey.
This is our main event. We're at the Knickerbocker Arena in Troy, New York. Barry Tompkins along with Al Bernstein. We're watching the USBA Welterweight Championship. Buck Smith in the black trunks, Kevin Pompey in the white trunks. Pompey is the holder of the USBA title.
And the lead right now for Pompey, as I mentioned, very important. Buck Smith's holding his jab out there. Smith's looking for the hook, but can't find a place to unload it, not being able to unload it very well. Buck Smith looks like he's actually a little tired right now, which you wouldn't think in the fourth round. That's not normal for him, even though he hasn't gone 10. He's usually fresh through the 6th, 7th rounds of his fights.
Doesn't really appear to be breathing hard, though. Lunged with that left hand. That's a throwback to the old Buck.
Yes, that's what he used to do that he's gotten out of, but now in this bout has reverted to it when he's gotten in a little trouble.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of frustration sitting in on Buck Smith.
I think so. Look, he's moved up to another level with Kevin Pompey. Now that's usually where you get 3 punches from Buck Smith. You only got 1 there. Smith elapsed defensively there that Pompey couldn't take advantage of. There's the lead right by Smith. He's not landed that punch for a while. And this round, pretty much Kevin Pompey may be winning by default.
And Buck Smith has also forgotten about the body, which he really got there in the first round.
Because he hasn't gotten Pompey on the ropes again. There's the right hand. Yeah, and I'll tell you, if Buck Smith gets that punch in, it'll change this fight because he needs that right hand. But Pompey has prevented him from doing it. There's the right.
But again, a lot of one-punch efforts from Buck Smith. There's the right hand from Pompey. Now, as you mentioned earlier, the crowd will react more quickly when Pompey scores than when Smith does. Good left hand from Pompey at the bell.
Here's this fight in microcosm. Smith goes well to the body, but here's Pompey landing a good counter left hook, making Buck Smith miss. That's what Pompey's doing well now, and Smith isn't.
Confidence surging in Kevin Pompey now. He ran out to greet Buck Smith. I realize that's a psychological ploy in large part, but nonetheless, right now, Pompey is driving the bus. Good left hand, staggered Pompey.
And I'll tell you, I was just going to say, he needs to be the old Buck Smith now, just go after him, and that's what he did with that hook.
But he can't leave too much on the table here.
No. And now he's got to bide his time but still land big shots, and that's tough to do.
Good body shot. That's what he did in the first round very effectively.
See, the lead right's an important weapon for Smith because Pompey's expecting the hook.
And a cut over the right eye, and it looks to be a pretty serious cut of Kevin Pompey.
And I'll tell you, that had to come from a punch because they did not clash heads.
Try to get an idea of how bad this cut is. It looks relatively bad. We'll wait till he turns around again.
If I was Buck Smith, I'd be getting inside and cranking hooks till I couldn't throw him anymore. That's how he wins fights. And that is where the cut is, so a hook would damage it. Well, it's amazing how one punch can turn a fight, isn't it? And the fight that looked like Kevin Pompey had all the confidence in the world. Now, Smith does not want to be against those ropes, even though he can land the hook from there.
He caught most of Pompey's punches on the gloves. Pompey got there with one right hand.
Well, he wants to be inside. Little elbow by Buck Smith, maybe looking for that cut, not a legal maneuver, and there's the jab getting in. So certainly for Smith, a better round. They both landed big shots.
Yes, they did. A right hand by Pompey, a left hand from Smith. A cut is pretty serious cut and could get worse.
You know what Buck Smith's strategy is right now? He is going to cover up until he can throw a hook to open up that cut. I think he has decided the way he can win this now, obviously, is with the cut, and he's going to just wait until he can throw left hooks. Of course, you can get nailed, knocked out if you do that.
Pompey's corner is going to have some work to do. And I would think, because this is in Troy, New York, Pompey is going to be given every opportunity here.
More than likely, yes. The jab now, both men are getting there. They both got hard jabs.
I think your point's well taken. I think Smith is just looking to the cut now.
That's the first body shot Smith has thrown in rounds.
Those are both caught on the gloves.
See, now he wants him to be out. Smith wants to be on the ropes now to get to the cut, but he's taking big punches in the process.
Short right hand by Smith. Caught Pompey stepping in.
And you can see Smith does not have the power in his right hand, Barry, that he does in his left. That didn't move Pompey.
Now we're going to take a look at how bad this cut is. And the good news for Kevin Pompey is that cut is not in a place where it would cause him huge problems. Now, that's not to say it couldn't get worse, but
unless it really opens.
Through the first 5 rounds, you can see Pompey getting there much more frequently, even though he's not throwing as many punches as Smith. And on your card right now, you've got Buck Smith close in front.
By 1 point.
Should point out another thing about the judging here in the state of New York. They encourage 10-8 rounds, even 10-7 rounds. So it is very possible you would see some divergent scoring here.
Yes, for sure. Now, both men have changed strategies a little. Smith especially, trying to land the right hand much more than the hook. He's thrown mostly hooks, so he feels maybe Pompey will be vulnerable. Pompey, too, throwing mostly jab. Look at that. Now they've changed. Few hooks thrown in this round. The right hand by Pompey.
Just to elaborate a little bit more on the scoring system, according to Randy Gordon, the commissioner of boxing here in the state of New York, he said if one fighter clearly wins the round, and that does not mean a knockdown, but just where you have no doubt but that fighter won the round, you make that a 10-8 round. If there's a knockdown, it could be 10-7, even 10-6 if it's a completely lopsided round. So as a result of that, you probably will see a lot of disparagement in the scoring, as we pointed out.
Now, Buck Smith had Pompey against the ropes. Did not throw that many punches there. So it could be fatigue. It could be just he didn't see openings. He's not throwing on the ropes like he did earlier.
That eye is bleeding again.
And the combinations from Pompey, though, impressive right now in this match. And he's backing Smith up. Buck Smith doesn't fight well going backwards. And I think maybe the power of Pompey is more than Smith thought.
Nice left hand by Pompey.
When Smith goes to the body, Kevin Pompey is getting there with his hook. This has been a pretty good round here for Pompey.
Yeah, and he's working off the jab nicely in this round. Well, that time he came with a right-hand lead just to make a liar out of me.
Buck Smith is underusing his hook now. That's the punch that got him here. And he's not throwing it. And it's also the punch that will further aggravate that cut. And even if it doesn't stop the fight, it bothers Pompey, the cut. Smith backing up, and you see he doesn't do well in that posture.
Very good round for Pompey so far. I think that right hand that drove Smith backward hurt him.
I think it did too. And Buck Smith just isn't throwing any hooks. And he's allowing Kevin Pompey to get off. There's the hook from Smith. But good round for Pompey.
Coming to the end of round number 6. Good round for Kevin Pompey.
Here is where Kevin Pompey backs up Smith, lands the right hand right at the belt. When Smith goes backwards, that is not his most effective posture. So Kevin Pompey hasn't really had to move as much as they thought, even though he was stunned once in the fight. Oh, there's the hook. See, when Smith throws the hook, oh, he hurt him.
He did hurt him, and Pompey now will have to fight off the ropes, and Smith's trying to jump on him.
Smith very wild there, and Pompey still able to counter.
And remember, Buck Smith has got to remind himself this is a 12-round fight. He's never gone more than 8.
And Pompey may have been playing possum a little bit there, but I think he was stunned.
If he was playing possum, it was a possum with wobbly legs.
It's true. And Smith, now has Smith punched himself out for this round. He landed a whole series of punches there, and one of which shook up Pompey. But what's he got left for the rest of this round? And why would Buck Smith not go back to that hook? That is his ticket to a win no matter when he fights or who he fights.
And Pompey seems just fine now.
And see, those right hands of Pompey wouldn't be landing if Smith was dipping to his left and just trying to throw hooks.
Yeah, which he said he was going to do. He had told us this morning he was going to go side to side a lot against Pompey, and he has not done much of that.
And the side he wants to go to is veer to his left and just crank those hooks up.
And a reminder still to come later on tonight, we'll have some of the best of George Foreman. Some of the great knockouts from his career.
We've seen single punch power from from Buck Smith, but he hasn't been able to put enough combinations together. See, he lands the right hand, but then allows Pompey to come back dizzily with combination. In what has been a generally fairly close round, but Smith's early advantage has ebbed.
Buck Smith is fighting a little bit like a guy who is really keenly aware of the fact that he has not gone 12 rounds.
Yeah.
And is not quite sure what's going to be there when he gets to that.
I think you're very right, Barry. That's correct. And I think part of that is he's wondering, now see, he lands the big shots, but can't follow up enough to really hurt Pompey, or has not been able to.
Right, and I think what he's thinking is he is only looking to the one shot. And if he hurts him, then he'll jump on him.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Otherwise, he's just going to see what's there when he gets to 9 and 10.
That's a very good point, and I think that is the way he's ended up fighting. Not the way they wanted him to, but that's what's happened. It is a very close round here. But see, a close round, you're in Troy, New York, you got to figure it's going to go to Kevin Pompey.
Good work at the end of the round by Pompey. Nice uppercut by Pompey. Right at the moment, Buck Smith looks tired.
And this is...
Pompey's the aggressor, and Pompey is going to win this round with this flurry at the end of it.
Kevin Pompey, one of the keys here was landing his left hook. And he was able to get one in there shortly after that.
Buck Smith really does look right at the moment like a tired fighter. Now, that's not to say that he can't find something.
In between rounds, we got to hear Sean Gibbons give some pep talk to Buck Smith.
Let him just get off while you're standing there, man. All right? Hey, the man is right there to be taken. You've heard him numerous times. It's coming. It's coming, man. You know what I'm saying, Buck? Come on, Buck. It's coming. You got to suck it up.
Well, that's the voice of Sean Gibbons in the corner of Buck Smith between the last 2 rounds.
Now, the thing that was missing there, and it's uncharacteristic for Sean Gibbons, he didn't say exactly how, and the way to do it is not with an uppercut from way outside like that, is to get those left hooks in. He has gone away from what he does best, Buck Smith. That's why he's ended up getting on the short end of this. That and the fact that Kevin Pompey is fighting well. And right there is where Smith was in position to throw a double left hook and isn't doing it. That may be fatigue. And in fact, in round 7, Pompey outlanded Smith 48 to 26. Smith, they wanted Smith to back up Pompey, and who's backing up in this round? It is Smith. And your comment, Barry, about his question of making 12 rounds and being effective, Buck Smith, is true. He's never gone past 8. Certainly hasn't gone 12. That's the hook. That's what they want, but he's got to throw a lot more than those and throw him with better technique if he's going to hurt Kevin Pompey. And remember the cut that Pompey had now, it is completely stopped.
Yeah, completely stopped. It had bled on occasion after that, after the initial cut, but it's really been no worse. And now, as you said, it's not bleeding at all. Right now, Kevin Pompey is in control of the fight.
He is throwing fine combinations. He's not a big puncher. That's why he hasn't really hurt Smith badly. Again, a low blow. Now, the referee doesn't do anything about it. Pompey didn't have to walk away. He could have gone and hit Buck Smith. They don't give him any time to recoup.
I think it was a low blow.
Yeah, it was definitely. It was an uppercut by Pompey. I don't think it was on purpose, but they probably could have given Smith some time to recoup, and so Smith's taking his own time by holding.
Pompey is choosing to be on the ropes here.
Yeah, but he's always gotten in trouble when he is there, as has Smith. But Smith's not as busy now when Pompey's on the ropes. Instead of keeping him there, he backs up. A sign that he's not able to throw those punches.
And now it is Smith on the ropes, and he's taking some punishment.
This is as in control of this match as Pompey has been.
Yeah, this round, he has really owned, clearly winning this round. ESPN. Meanwhile, we start round number 9. We're going 12. Kevin Pompey's taking control of the fight. Buck Smith is simply going to have to find something that has not been there for the last 2 or 3 rounds.
You know, 125 times, 124, Buck Smith has gone into a fight thinking, I'm going to knock a guy out with my left hook. This is now a situation where he's not trying to. There's the hook. That's the punch for Smith. It's real simple. The only way he's going to win this fight, you see the difference in the punches landed. Pompey has been almost as busy and much more accurate. The only way Smith's ever going to win this fight is to crank up left hooks, and he's not doing it.
Buck Smith turned to his corner, just kind of nodded his head, shook his head, actually.
Well, the low blows are what he's mad about, and Pompey threw another one. He's thrown a lot of low blows. Buck Smith a little distressed. Referee doesn't give him any time.
He's supposed to be able to have as much time as he wants.
This is not Oklahoma City. But the way he can make up for it, Smith, is by cranking up those hooks. Pompey is, see, instead of lead rights, there's the hook. Pompey, though, is doing a good job of slipping punches. And Pompey, combination-wise, has been much more effective.
Buck Smith getting very lazy with that left hand, too.
Yeah, the right will come over. See, and he's not in position to throw hooks now. The body work of Pompey, the legal body work and the illegal, has paid off for him. See, lead rights, when you reduce a guy like Smith to lead rights, you've got him where you want him.
Pompey being busier, Pompey being more effective. And Pompey doing all the damage right now.
See, this is as much a tactical error as being hurt and fatigued. It's just as easy to crank up the left hook as it is a straight right hand for Buck Smith. He's just as tired, and if he doesn't throw the hook, the right will never help him. You see, that right is nothing. Tactically, Pompey is in a very good position right now. And if you trade jabs and straight rights for Pompey and your Buck Smith, you're going to lose.
Both men have a little mouse under the left eye.
Yeah, the interesting thing is Smith has been able to land that lead right a little bit, but it's not an effective weapon. Pompey has stopped. Now, here's where at the beginning of this fight, Smith would throw 5 and 6 punches, not here, and missing with what he's throwing.
And throwing a very lazy jab, and you can see that left hand down by the hip. Took a left hand over the top of the right hand. Coming to the end of round 9, and another very effective round for Kevin Pompey.
The jabs, the right hands of Pompey have made a big difference in this bout. The straight punches, and there's an example.
And Pompey's corner just wants him to work hard, and he has really done that in the last couple rounds. Take a look at the numbers from the 9th round, and that'll tell you exactly what we're talking about. Boy, what a connect percentage.
Yeah,
Pompey. Sign of a tired fighter.
Yes, Pompey is throwing and landing much better. His technique is better right now.
And Buck Smith is there for his punches more.
Yeah, he's standing right in front of him. And when he dips down, the threat of the hook is not even there for Pompey. So all he's looking for is the right hand. See, that's a wild one. You have to get closer to throw. That's indicative of the situation that Smith is in.
Pompey clearly in command on your card. I don't think you can argue with that. Buck Smith mocking Pompey, but Pompey at the same time.
Whoa!
Good right hand.
Oh, my!
And that really hurt Pompey. And now this is the one moment for Buck Smith. He's got to do it all right here.
This is it. It's all on the line right in, because he won't win a decision unless he knocks Pompey out.
And he's letting Pompey catch a breath here.
Give Pompey credit, though. I mean, he was out on his feet, and he is now restoring himself. Unreal.
And Buck Smith might have just spent himself.
This is like Trice Pompey revisited. They are both tired.
And Smith got there with another right hand. But he's waiting.
He wants the right. He should be throwing the hook. Buck Smith again. It's still his big weapon, even though the right hurt Pompey.
And another right hand got there. Long way to go. Buck Smith just stalking Pompey now. And I think Pompey wants him to come here.
The hook to the body. There's the hook by Smith. That's the punch. If anything will do it for him. But Pompey's still dangerous.
Pompey's still hurt also.
Yeah.
And I think Pompey's going to catch a break because they're going to fix the tape. Huge break for Kevin Pompey. That is the best thing that could have happened to Kevin Pompey.
Hands up. Kevin, hands up. Do you understand that, you son
Look
of a
at the
bitch?
left eye of
Hands
Pompey.
up.
He has a cover in his right eye.
And they'll take as much time as they possibly could squeeze.
Oh, yeah. Bob Miller will take his sweet time, and, yeah, let's make that tape. Sure, that tape is perfect. And now he goes back out. Buck Smith better jump on him.
What a big break for Kevin Pompey.
And if I was Buck Smith, he better go right after. See, Pompey is a little sharper now. But what got Buck Smith here in the first place was the hook. The right hand hurt Pompey, but once he would crank the hook after it, it hurt him even more.
Pompey still doesn't look like he has much legs there.
No, and that's what he wants him to do. The body shots of Smith important here. Buck Smith must not be countered by Pompey, though Pompey can counter him with the left hook.
Still a long way to go. And if Buck Smith was tired going into this round, Pompey is going to be tired coming out of it.
Remember, off the ropes is how Smith got him the last time, but this time Smith takes a big punch. And Pompey having a very good end of the round.
And it may be, remember what we told you about the scoring here in New York, this may bring it back to a 10-9 round. It could have been a 10-8 round. And Pompey ends it with a flourish. Fight you've ever seen?
I think I was misquoted. No, but it's one of the best. How's that?
Through the first 10 rounds, you could see Pompey still with a very big edge, but he was in big, big trouble for at least a moment in that last round.
And I'm going to tell you, it's right here for Buck Smith. I feel right now, the way he's landing some of these shots, he can walk to Pompey. He has to try, or he's not going to win this fight. And he will walk out of here without a chance to win the USBA title, and Pompey will be on his way to a world title shot, perhaps. But Smith can't just box him in these last 2 rounds, because he'll lose the fight.
Smith has done very little in this round so far. Pompey just pretty much staying out of harm's way so far. On your card after 10 rounds, it is still close enough that Buck Smith can get a piece of it on your card. But remember, we told you about the scoring system here in New York, which is different.
This is a pivotal round, and Smith is not really doing too much attacking. He's
doing nothing.
Stalking Pompey. Pompey isn't doing much either. This was not a round that, from Smith's standpoint, he could allow to be taken off. See, there he wanted to get in the left hook, but couldn't get it off. And Kevin Pompey has not landed his jab too well. He throws it out in this round.
Well, Pompey is fighting this round not to get hit.
Yes, this is kind of a prevent defense. See, actually, all that stuff by Smith is good for him. Well, some fighters, you'd say it's crazy. That's how he lands those wacky punches he sometimes throws. You notice what happened when he got on the ropes and juked and jived? He landed the right hand.
But in this round, he's not throwing.
There's the hook. There it is. There it is. He should jump on him now. That's the punch. It's been the punch for 6 rounds. He should walk right to him and crack double left hooks. That's the punch.
Body shot, right hand off the ropes.
And Pompey countered well with the left. Buck Smith will look at this tape and slap himself silly for not throwing more left hooks, because that was his ticket to win. Now this has been a pretty close round.
Close round, but Smith needs to do more than that.
Yes. And you're right about Pompey fighting this not to get knocked out or not to get hit here. Now why would you not throw any more left hooks if you're Buck Smith after you landed one and it clearly stunned him? You know, it's almost as if Smith, to the end, wants to prove he can box with Pompey. And we asked him that this morning. He said, I'm going to box him. I said, but could you get caught where you're boxing when you should be slugging? He said, no. I think the answer is yes.
Now, this was not the most efficient round for Buck Smith because he did have him hurt again. He'll have to let it all go in the final round. 12th and final round. This for the USBA Championship. Buck Smith in the black, Kevin Pompey in the white. And Buck Smith's just going to have to go right after him.
And he just took a big right hand. That's what he needs. That's the punch right there. He should have been doing that for 3 rounds. Just crank the hook and let the chips fall where they may, because he's got power and so does Pompey. There's the numbers through 11. And in the last round, talk about the numbers dropping off. Smith threw 45 punches, Pompey 35.
And Smith is just going to have to fight it. He's just going to have to let it go.
He's going to have to go do his best to get a knockout. He'll need one to win. And for Kevin Pompey, the trick is not to get knocked out. He's been hurt 3 or 4 times in his fight, Pompey. That was cut, but he's fought through the adversity. We've seen him in bouts where he hasn't been able to do it, like against Santos Cardona. But Smith's power, which many, I have to include in me in that group, thought might be too much for Pompey. No, Kevin's been hurt, but he has come back. Now, right there's where the hook ought to be, and it came a little late for Smith.
A reminder that the best, if you will, of George Foreman still to come on Top Rank Boxing tonight. Some of his great knockouts from early and late in his career.
Smith looking for the lead right hand. Pompey parrying it very well. Kevin Pompey, ranked 4th by the IBF, the USBA champion. He told us this morning, you never know if you're going to get a world title shot, whether you win or not. But he said, I got to win tonight to even think about getting one. And Buck Smith is frittering away the time he has left with jabs and looking for a straight right hand, but it's not there yet. Instead, that's what he should do. Juke and jive, get inside, and then crank up the hooks. And of course, it's easy to say that from this side of the ring.
Yeah, that's right. Where we sit, it's a lot easier.
But
1 minute to go for Buck Smith.
But Buck has done it before in this match, and you think he would try again. Pompey slipping those jabs quite well. And even if Smith is winning this round, which he may well be.
And that was a right hand from Pompey, and that Smith is saying no, it was the shoes.
Unless Buck Smith does something dramatic, Kevin Pompey is going to keep his USBA title. We believe, although I guess it's a moderately close fight, but considering where we are and all the rest of it, and this kind of flurry, you'd have to think that Kevin Pompey is pretty much home free.
Yeah, and it was Kevin Smith that was doing the flurrying and not Buck Smith, who it would seem would need to do more.
There's the movement, Pompey, just enough to get out of harm's way.
I said Kevin Smith. Of course, I meant Buck Smith, who's going to have to crank it up, and it's going to be too late for Buck. And perhaps the Buck has stopped here.
Well, Buck Smith thinking perhaps he might have won it. I don't think he did. He had his moments in this bout, make no mistake about that, where he had Pompey hurt. But even in 1 or 2 of those rounds where this man, Kevin Pompey, was hurt, he came back to throw many punches. And in a way, Barry, you mentioned it earlier, that experience was key. Kevin Pompey has been in more of these kinds of fights. Buck Smith's been in a lot of fights. Most of them has gone his way, even against the better fighters like Wayne Gila. There we see the numbers, a pretty clear edge for Kevin Pompey. And that ultimately probably hurt Buck Smith. I think they got away from their game plan in the mid and later rounds as well.
Well, again, I think also there was some of that fear of the unknown, and that is that extra 4 rounds that he's never seen before.
The only thing I'll throw in here is maybe his left hand was hurt, Buck Smith, and that might be why he didn't throw more left hooks. We saw no evidence of that. There's Pompey as he awaits what he hopes will be a decision that will help him retain his USBA title, or allow him to.
And a reminder that NIT basketball coming your way tomorrow night. It'll be Delaware against the number 6 Seton Hall Pirates, and Tennessee plays Rutgers, 7:30 and 9:30. Basketball doubleheader, college basketball season. My favorite time of year.
I love it.
All right, let's find out what the official scoring is then with Ed Darian. Ed.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the fans here in attendance, come on, let's have a nice round of applause for these 2 young men. And the scoring by points as follows. Judge Don Ackerman observed 116-112. While Judge Don Nodecker, he watched it at 115-113. And Judge Steve Weisfeld, he observed it 117-111 for the winner by unanimous decision. And still the USBA welterweight champion, Kevin the Troy Tiger Pompey.
So the judging pretty much officially as we saw it here at this table, and when we come back, we will talk with Kevin Pompey. Tough fight that was, as advertised. Don't go away.